Now, when poor little Kim realized he'd given all his birthday presents away, he knew he would have to face his mother and father, so he started to wander home. But he'd barely taken a few steps when he heard a loud noise. It was so loud that it stopped him in his tracks and made him look back. What an amazing spectacle he saw. The 4 tigers he had just met were very angry and roaring furiously. Each tiger thought that it was more elegantly dressed than the other.
No, I look the most beautiful.
One would say. No, I do. Another would say. And soon what started off as a friendly argument turned into a full-scale fight. Little Kim hid himself behind a tree, shook like a leaf as he watched the tigers. 4 furious tigers running around a palm tree. What an incredible sight as they hung onto each other's tails. One shouted that he was the king because he had an umbrella to keep off the sun. The second screamed that it was impossible to be king of the jungle without a pair of trousers.
My jacket gives me the greatest air of distinction,
bellowed the third. And finally the fourth, with the slippers on his ears, shouted that he was the best.
I'm the most beautiful.
The wild creatures were so involved in their argument that they completely forgot about their precious clothes.
I am the most beautiful.
As the clothes and umbrella flew off, Kim managed to creep up behind the tigers and grab them all back. Before the tigers realized what was going on, he got dressed and ran home. How little Kim ran! He ran like the wind. He crossed the stream by the little wooden bridge without hesitating for a second, and surprised frogs jumped out of his path on all sides. Even the birds found it difficult to keep up with him, and his umbrella seemed to act as a propeller, helping him on his way. Or perhaps it was his turned-up slippers that sped him along the path even more quickly. He ran faster than he'd ever run in his life because he couldn't wait to get home and tell his parents about the tigers and their incredible behavior. And as he disappeared into the distance, the tigers kept on running. Round and round in circles they went. It was as if a little whirlwind had hit the forest. They were still clinging on to each other's tails and were not aware of anything else around them. Faster and faster they went. They looked as if they were about to take off. When little Kim arrived home, he told his mother and father about his adventures with the tigers. "Please come to the jungle and see for yourself, Father," begged little Kim. When he saw how excited his little son was, Tim raced back with him into the jungle. "I'm sure this was the place," said little Kim when he reached the spot where he'd seen the 4 tigers. But instead of the tigers, all that was left was a heap of melted butter. "They were here, Father, honestly," said little Kim. "I believe you," said his father. Then his father decided to tell Kim a little secret. So he turned to Kim and said, "Haven't I ever told you the legend of the jungle?" "No," said little Kim, "but I'd like to hear it." "Well," said his father, "when 4 tigers turn in circles round a coconut tree, they run so fast that eventually they turn into melted butter." And the legend was obviously a true one, because the 4 furious tigers had turned into melted butter. Tim licked some of the butter off his finger. "We are very lucky, my son," he said. "This is the best quality butter. But let's take some home to Mother. It'll be perfect for making pancakes." So Kim and Tim collected the butter in a big brass pot and took it home. When Kim's mother saw little Kim and his father with the big pot of butter, she was so happy. "Now we can have pancakes for supper," she said. "Lots and lots of pancakes." So she took the butter and made the pancakes that were as yellow and brown as the tigers. And little Kim was the hungriest of them all because he ate 100 100 pancakes without feeling ill at all.